Good afternoon. Here we are with the absurdity that the Egyptians somehow, let me just get this out of the way first. Somehow shifted 6.5 million tons. All right. Now, Pyramid Giza weighs approximately 6.5 million tons. The Abraham's main battle tank, the variant that weighs 65 tons. We're going to use that variant today for obvious reasons. If we divide Giza's weight by the 65 tons, the main battle tank, we end up with 100,000 units. That's 100,000 tanks, the equivalent weight, okay? We have 25,000 Egyptians. If we divide the 100,000 by the 25,000, we get 4. This means that each Egyptian is responsible for the weight of 4 main Abraham's battle tanks, all cut up, nicely chopped up into 2.5 ton stones. The equivalent of 260 tons. This is per person. So when we hear, I'm just gonna, let's listen to this.
Imagine you and some coworkers have to hoist a block as heavy as a double-decker bus, 130 meters into the air. The only tools your boss gives you are some rope, some wood, and some rubble. If you got...
Teacher, how did they quarry? Is there any news on how they quarried the 4 main battle tanks, the equivalent weight of 4 main battle tanks each? Is there any, we're going straight into the theories of how maybe they used a ramp. Okay.
That's something heavy. You've got to move somewhere high. The simplest, most straightforward way is to just drag it up a ramp. You tie it with some rope, get help from as many people as can fit on the ramp, and heave it up together. As the pyramid grows, the ramp would be raised and extended to accommodate the increasing height. Easy. No crazy advanced machinery necessary. Look.
Easy. No crazy advanced. Stop it, guys.
Egyptologists have traditionally supported the external ramp theory. It continues to be the go-to explanation for how the builders pulled it off. And there's loads of archaeological evidence that confirms ancient Egyptians used big ramps for construction all the time.
Now, let's just look at the 2.3 million 2.5 ton stones. 2.3 million. The basic building blocks, if you like, of the pyramid, of Pyramid Giza. If we divide 25,000 Egyptians by, if we divide, 2.3 million stones by 25,000 Egyptians, each of those Egyptians was liable for 92 stones, each weighing 2.5 tons. Now,
but there's no consensus on the size, shape, and incline of such a ramp. That's because after a certain height, the external ramp theory starts to fall apart.
It starts to fall apart when it starts to get steeper. No, mate, it fell apart before it even started. Let's skip to 1425. You cannot claim how something was built when you don't know where or how the stones came from, right? This is just claiming knowledge that cannot be known.
Flowing alongside the majority of the pyramids. The pyramid builders probably used this branch to move heavy stones straight to the pyramid base, instead of dragging them all the way from distant quarries.
Excuse me, teacher, the distant quarries. How did they quarry the equivalent of 4 Abraham's main battle tanks each? If you don't mind me asking, sir.
Plausible that the builders used the Niles to transport the blocks horizontally. But what about vertically? Another peer-reviewed study from 2024 offers a fascinating theory. It proposes a radical and controversial idea. The ancient Egyptians might have used hydraulic power to raise heavy stones. In other words, a water-powered elevator. The idea of such an elevator is not new, but for a long time, credentialed Egyptologists considered such theories fringe and unscientific, just speculations cooked.
It's beyond an insult to people's intelligence. 2 million views in 2 months. People, if you believe this, there's something wrong somewhere, because you cannot claim it's being claimed here without coming up. The Egyptians had sweet FA to do with building the pyramids. It was logistically impossible back then as it is now. People, it's the numbers. I cannot believe that it's the same as this. It's the same as a solar eclipse. It simply cannot happen unless the sun's light is absolute. It cannot happen. It's so obvious when somebody is on the sweet spot on planet Earth and they have the moon in front of them and the sun directly behind the moon, and they can see the sun's corona around the moon. That's Daisy the cow, by the way. They have the sun's corona around the moon. That moment in time can only happen if the sun's light is absolute. It doesn't matter about your GPS and your LIGO and your LIDAR, etc., etc. The pyramids have been happening a long time. You need to ask your teachers about that one, right? It's obvious that the sun radiates absolute light. It's the only way it can play out, because after 8 minutes and 20 seconds of photons traveling towards the moon, that then casts its shadow onto Earth, Earth would have turned anti-clockwise by 2.08 degrees. This is an exaggerated angle. So Earth would be facing slightly to the left of all of this, down, when the photons arrived. So why is the sun directly behind the moon from the sweet spot? Look, there is only one explanation, and it's because the sun's light is absolute. There is no delay at all, okay? Right. I think that just about covers the pyramids and the speed of light. Both of them are slam dunks. There is nowhere to go on either of the two theories. Sun's light is absolute. The Egyptians had nothing to do with building the pyramids. Breathe. Just keep walking. Just keep walking. Turn the thing off.